You can use Python to build web applications, to build APIs for your mobile applications, to build desktop applications, to build software that talks to database and in artificial intelligence. Not just this, Python can be used in various other domains. If you want to progress in career, you should definitely learn Python. It's really useful for you. Python is a dynamically typed language. That means you can define a string or an integer or a float without mentioning the type. Just like this, all these 5 statements are valid. And Python will understand the type depending on the value you assign it. Naming convention. The general convention is you can use snake case for non-constant variables and capitals for constants and camel case for classes. And indentation. The indentation is mandatory in Python. There is no specific rule of how many spaces you need to give, but the thing is, if you don't give consistent indentation across the file, there will be errors. So you need to make sure there is consistent indentation, and the general indentation developers follow is 4 spaces. We can write custom functions in Python, but Python has many built-in functions that you can use without importing anything. For example, if you want to get the absolute value of a number, you can use ABS, or you can use ABS of 4 or -4 returns 4, because the absolute value of -4 or 4 is 4. If you want to get the length of a string, then you can use len of the string, which will print the number of characters in that string. Or if you want to print something, you can use print, and then that will print the string. You can join multiple strings in Python by simply using the plus operator. But there are better formatting options in Python. One way is to use this %s in place of variable, and use this percentage and add the variables here. And the first variable will replace the first %s, and the second variable will replace the second %s. But here you need to remember the sequence. So if you don't want to remember the sequence, you can use this string.format method, where you place the variables inside these flower braces, and then you pass the variables as named parameters. Or if you don't even want to pass the named parameters, you can use this f string, where you place the variables defined above in flower braces, and the string will appear. Let us see string operations in Python. If you want to convert a string into a list, then you can simply split the string using a separator like space. Then you will get a list like this. Or if you want to get a particular element from a string, then you can use the index. The index of D is 0, so string of 0 is D. The index of S is 3, so string of 3 is S. Or if you want to get a substring from the string, you can do like string of 3:7, which returns seat, because the index of S is 3, the index of T is 6. Here the second one is exclusive, so you need to do index plus 1. List is a set of elements of any data type. For example, A is a string and 5 is an integer. Let us take a simple example of L equal to ABC. If you want to add an element to a list, then you can use l.append of hello, then hello will be added to the end of the list. Or if you want to add a list of items to a list, then you can simply do l.extend of list, then all the elements present in the list will be added to the end of the list. If you want to get a single item from a list, then you can use L of 0, just like string, then the value with that index 0 will be printed here. Or if you want to get a sub list from the list, then you can use L of 0:2, and then 2 is exclusive, so it will return list starting from index 0 to index 1. Looping a list. You can loop the list like this, like for x in L, where x represents every element in the list, and whatever you want to do, you can write in the next line after indentation like this. The same loop you can write in single line also, like using list comprehension, where whatever value you wanted to return, you can place in the first place, and the loop sentence you can place in the second place. A tuple, just like a list, is a set of elements of any data type, but it is immutable and memory efficient. So you cannot do operations like append and extend because a tuple is used to store constants only. But if your requirement is to combine multiple tuples, then you can use the plus operator. A dictionary is used to store key value pairs. For example, this is a dictionary where the key is name and the value is dev sheet, and category is another key, and software training is the value. Make sure all the keys are unique. If you want to print the value of this key name, then you can use data of name. If you want to print the value of this key category, then you can use data of category. Or if you want to return all the keys from this dictionary, then you can use data.keys. Now coming to looping techniques, it is just like a list where you loop over it like this, and in the loop you will get the keys only. The value, if you want to get it, you have to do data of key. Or if you want to get the value in automatically, then you can do data.items and the value will be there. Dict comprehension. Now if you want to generate a dictionary of this format where the key is the element from the list and the value is the square of that number, then you can loop over the list like this and prepare a dictionary with key as x and value as x into x. The same thing you can do in single line using dict comprehension, where whatever dictionary key value pair that you want to be present in the dictionary, you can place it in the first place, x colon x into x, and the loop statement you can keep it in the second place. A class is a combination of methods and data. Let us take an example. I created an example class named base class with two variables a and b with values 1 and 2, and I added a method init. Init is basically a constructor, which means when you try to create an instance using this way, then the init method will be called automatically. And I have written the init method in such a way that only when a and b values are passed, then only a and b values are set here. It doesn't set to null values. And I wrote this sum method, which basically prints the sum of two numbers a and b. And I created a subclass which is inheriting from the base class. You can actually inherit from multiple base classes, but for now I am just inheriting from one base class. So basically, when you inherit from another class, all the methods and variables present in the base class will be available in the subclass also. And also you can override the methods. For example, I have overridden the sum method. So when you call the sum method from the subclass, instead of calling the sum method from the base class, it will call the sum method from the subclass. Let us see how we execute. I am trying to get an instance without passing any parameters. So when you try to call sum, it will print 3 because the default values are 1 and 2, and we did not pass anything here. So the values are still 1 and 2, and when you try to do sum, it says 3. And let us say you passed 5, 6 parameters. That means a and b values are sent here. So a and b values change to 5 and 6. When you do sum, it will print 11. Note that it is saying sum from base class. So it is executing the sum method from this class, base class. And when you try to call subclass of 10, 20, and when you call sum, it is basically calling the sum method from the subclass, because we have overridden the sum method in subclass. Even if sum method is not present in the subclass, it will still print the sum by calling the sum method from the base class, because as I said, all the methods from the base class are available in the subclass too. Exceptions. Even though a program may be syntactically correct, there may be errors when executing the program. For example, when you do 10 by 0, Python will return error. So in order to make sure it doesn't crash the application, we can do numerator by denominator inside this try block. So when denominator value is 0, this block will be executed, and we can do whatever we want during this particular case. Files in Python. If you want to write data to a file, you can use this function open off and pass this file name as well as this permission w+. This is basically write permission. and then you can write data to the file, and then you can close the file. Or if you just want to open the file, you don't have to pass any permissions. Default permission is read only, and then you can get the data using f.read, and you can close the file. Closing the file is very important, otherwise whatever memory allocated to this file will not be cleared from RAM. Or if you want to close the file automatically, then you can just use this with and then if you write like this, the code once this block is executed, file will be closed automatically. Watching videos is not enough. If you want to become a full stack software developer, then you can join our training program, and we will help you in completing the project by yourself. I have been developing applications from the last 9 years, and I can help you develop applications too.